I often work alone in the garage, but also sometimes I work with my mate Dave. This is Dave. Now Dave says to me, what you really need is something to improve the efficiency of your bracket making. Yes Dave, good idea I thought. So what he suggested to me was that I buy one of these. And here it is, a nice big brown cardboard box full of a new tool. So, nice level platform. I'm going to miss this facility once the bonnet's on. But hey ho, let's have a look and see what we've got here. Let's see what we've got in the box. Nice. Right. Little table, kettle cast aluminium table with a scale on it, so we'll have a look at that in a bit. Some fixing screws, an Allen key, a knob, and a little adjustable scale to set up angles for when you are sanding something square. And I believe that that fits into there, so as it slides up and down, so that should be quite handy. Little dust extractor connected up to the hoover, and a second little table. So one of these will be for the belt sander, and one will be for the disc sander. This has got an on-off switch which needs to be mounted to the top there, which I imagine that's what these screws in here are for. So we'll just we'll mount that on there. Snip these up, that's that. And there's an Allen key which is for adjusting the angle of this, so you can either have it laying down flat like that, or you can pop it up and have it vertical. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be doing with that. There's a little place for the Allen key just to sit there, which is quite nice. Right, so these I would guess are for this little table. The table, there's a radial slot in here, there's a radial slot on the back of the table, so that will locate into there. And slide, yeah. quite sturdy. Obviously there's nothing to support this end of the table, so it could flex if you put in too much weight on it, but if you don't put much weight on it, you should be alright. So it looks quite straightforward to put together. There's a nice guard underneath there. There's no guard on that side of the belt, but there's a direction for the arrow. It's an arrow direction, so it's going to rotate that way. So when you're dressing something, if you've got a piece of metal that you're dressing, then you've got to work to the right hand of the centre. So you've got to work from there to there. So that's your working area. This is a 6-inch disc, so you've got 3 inches of working area there. Right, let's plug it in and see how it goes. Not too sure exactly where I'm going to have it on the bench. I think ideally it would be better suited if it was on the right hand side of your bench, to be fair, but unfortunately I can't do that, so I'm going to have to keep it down this end somehow. I might stand this up and see what that looks like next. It does come with a nice little, it's just a bolt really, that supports this. So it was best if it's in this attitude. You know, if you want to sand something down, if you want to sand something down flat, then that's quite nice because that's giving you some extra support. So it might be quite nice to keep that in that position, although you couldn't use it in the vertical position for dressing angles and things on there once you set this up. So let's undo this nut here, this Allen key, and then we'll stand it up to see what that looks like. There's a nice strong radial clamp all around here. And the beauty about this machine, it's basically a bench grinder. So there's an output shaft this side, an output shaft this side. This side drives the belt, this side drives the disc. So it's direct drive. There's no belts on this, which is the main reason that I chose this one. That's quite nice. It's quite a nice sturdy arrangement on here, and it comes to a nice, there's a stop. There's a nice hard stop there for the vertical position, so you can't take it any further. So that's quite nice. Just lift this back up again. So I'm thinking, with my limited amount of space, and probably what I'll do is I will leave it in this orientation. So it doesn't seem to be too badly made. It seems to be quite well made, to be fair. So we shall see how we go. The initial criticism that I would have with the scale on the table, it's a bit small and it's also hidden by the knob, so to set it up accurately you're going to have to be a little bit flexible to get under there to be able to set that up accurately if you've got something accurate that you need to do. So what I shall do is I shall I shall get a square on it just to see. That's the easiest thing to do. If you want to do something square, then just put a square on it and set it to the square. So yes, let's have a little go with it and see what it sounds some metal like. So, let's go over some of the controls. Obviously you've got off-on switch, which is easy enough. I'm a little surprised how loud that is. I'll do a little decibel check and see how that is. It's a bit louder than I thought it would be, but noise isn't really a problem. I'll just show you the other setting on the belt. There's a knob here, and I think what that must do, I think that alters the angle of this roller here, which allows you to position the belt. So I'll just show you. If you just turn that, you can see the belt moving from one side of the roller to the other. It just allows you to position the belt in the middle of the roller. So when you change the belt, then you can position the roller. I'm not going to show you how to change the belt, but I believe that what you need to do, you need to take quite a few bits and bobs off. So it's not the quickest of machines to actually change the belt on. So I've just set a square on that and set it square, and the scale is lined up quite nicely with the zero position. So let's have a little go at dressing something, a little piece of metal here. So I'm just going to see what this sounds. Yeah, that sounded that end quite nice and square in next to no time. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. There is an attachment for the hoover which goes on. Maybe not there. Maybe the hoover goes straight over that. Let's do a check. So let's have a look at hoover attachments. So I use a Henry hoover in the workshop. That's quite nice. That fits straight into, so the little pipe fits straight into the Henry. that was quite efficient. There's no extra dust falling out on the bench with the Hoover connectors, so that seems to work quite well. I'm just going to spin it round and check the disc side, see what that's like. So the motor, 240 volt motor, the sanding belt is 100mm wide by 940 millimeters. That will be the total length of the belt. The sanding disc is 150mm, so what's that, 6 inches. The belt speed 9.2 meters per second, and the disc speed is just under 3000 rpm at 2980 rpm. The unit's it's heavy, there's no doubt about it, but it's not too heavy to just keep moving around to different places on your bench if you push for space, which is like I am. So I certainly don't think I'll be bolting it down to the bench anytime soon. There's a couple of bolt holes, there's one there and there's one on the underside of this table here to bolt it down, but it's got rubber feet on it. It seems very nicely made unit, and it's stable enough to use, I think, with it's got a detachable cord, which is quite nice, so it's stable enough to be able to use it without necessarily bolting it down, which is always advisable to bolt it down, but I'm afraid I've not got the space to be able to do that. So let's just set the angle up on that, and that looks quite nice. That looks a bit nicer. Yeah, quite happy with that. Got a bit of scrap metal here that I'm going to use. Right, again, the dust port's there. We'll go straight into there, like so. Which is that's a great fit. That is. I'm really chuffed with that. Means you're instantly up and running straight away with dust collection, because the last thing you want is too much dust around in the workshop. The rotation is that way, so you've got to remember, stay to the right hand side of that, so that the disc is pushing the workpiece down. If you push it there, it's just going to flick it up, so you've got to be careful of that. See, it's made very light work of that. Put myself a nice radius on that. I think that's 3mm steel. So yes, pleased with that. That's very nice, and of course it's square. So yeah. So I think I finally decided on putting the new bench sander down here in the corner. It is facing the wrong way around, but the beauty of it is the belt push goes that way into the table, so that acts as an end stop, and the rotation of that is clockwise, so everything I do will be on that side. So it's going to be quite easy for me to work on it on this end of the bench. So I'm just going to have a bit of a tidy up down this end, but I've got a bit more room down here for the engine to live for now, until it goes back into the car. But I think you'll agree, I've got once I've tidied it up, it'll be quite a nice little working space, and I can put the welder down at the bottom there where those boxes are, and move those elsewhere. So yeah, it should be quite a nice little space to work going forward. So although this is sold as a woodworking tool, it is also used for metalworking as well. And if you read on the Bucktool website, then it does reference that this machine can be used for grinding and sanding metal as well, which is the main reason that I bought it. So time will tell, but I've got every confidence that it's going to be a very useful tool for me. So, has Dave come up with a massively successful tool, or is Dave just a massive tool?
I guess it's all relative, really.